Hello, everybody. My name is Mr. LaScala. I'm the art teacher in Willingboro's ECDC schools. Thanks for joining us on this asynchronous learning day. Right now, we're using the platform YouTube, which is great. You could pause, rewind, or even fast forward if you really like to. We're going to be having fun today. I'm going to be reading a book. Then we're going to answer a few questions about the book. That's when we take our first 5-minute screen break. I'll explain that in just a moment. Then, after our screen break, we come back. We're going to be brainstorming. Okay? We're going to brainstorm quilt ideas. I'll get more into that in a little bit later as well. Then we're going to take our last and final screen break. When we come back from that, we're going to actually draw the ideas that we came about when we were brainstorming quilt ideas. As you can tell, we are going to be theming this lesson about quilts, quilt making, quilt ideas, and some of our favorite quilting artists throughout history. That'll bring us to our first book. It's a biography. You remember what a biography book is? Yes. Biography is a true story about a person's life from when they were little to when they were older. This story is more reminiscing on when she was a child. This artist is a great artist. I've actually seen her myself in person, and I think we can learn a lot about her quilt making designs, and where she comes up with some inspirations from her childhood, which is what we're living in right now, or you are. All right, which will also help us to create our very own quilt coming up. All right, first, let's make sure our thumbs are working. Can you shake those thumbs out? And let me see a thumbs up. All right, that's going to mean yes, or you could just shake your head up and down. Let me see it. Very good. Let me see you shake those thumbs again. And thumbs down. That means no. If you don't want to do that, you could also go like this. No. Or you could just say no. All right, next. Shake those thumbs out. And thumb to the side. You can go that way too if you want. That's going to mean I don't know or maybe. You could also go like this. I don't know. I don't mind. Remember, I'm a visual arts teacher, and I'm a visual arts learner myself. So if I can see you shrugging your shoulders, that's awesome. That tells me everything I need to know. All right? Or you could just hold your thumb to the side. Double thumbs down. That means no, absolutely not. I have no idea what you're talking about, Mr. LaScala. And 2 thumbs up. That means yes, absolutely. I agree 110% with you. All right. So this part, you can sit back, you can relax. We're going to go on a little bit of an adventure, a biography adventure about Faith Ringgold. And this book is called Tar Beach. She's not just the author, but she's also the illustrator. She's an amazing artist who, if you can see really closely, first made this into a quilt. She painted on canvas using acrylic paint to make this, and in the book, she redoes some things, as you can see, and paints acrylic right onto canvas as well, but this time it's not necessarily for a quilt. At the very end of the book, I'll show you what the quilt looks like. It looks like this, and it has all these different designs woven into the top of the quilt. In addition to this, you're going to see it has the entire story that we're about to read. All right? This is completely designed, created by Faith Ringgold. Right? She writes, she paints, she sews. Tar Beach. Tar Beach. Faith Ringgold. And there's our dedication page. I will always remember when the stars fell down around me and lifted me up above the George Washington Bridge. I could see our tiny rooftop with Mommy and Daddy and Mr. and Mrs. Honey, our next door neighbors, still playing cards as if nothing was going on. And BB, my baby brother, lying real still on the mattress, just like I told him to, his eyes like huge floodlights tracking me through the sky. Sleeping on Tar Beach was magical. Lying on the roof in the night, with the stars and skyscraper buildings all around me, made me feel rich, like I owned all that I could see. The bridge was my most prized possession. Daddy said that the George Washington Bridge is the longest and most beautiful bridge in the world, and that it opened in 1931, on the very day I was born. Daddy worked on that bridge, hoisting cables. Since then, I've wanted that bridge to be mine. Now I have claimed it. All I have to do is fly over it for it to be mine forever. I can wear it like a giant diamond necklace. Or just fly above it and marvel at its sparkling beauty. I can fly, yes, fly. Me, Cassie Louise Lightfoot, only 8 years old and in the 3rd grade, and I can fly. That means I am free to go wherever I want for the rest of my life. Daddy took me to see the new union building he is working on. He can walk on steel girders high in the sky and not fall. They call him the cat. But still, he can't join the union because Grandpa wasn't a member. Well, Daddy is going to own that building because I'm going to fly over it and give it to him. Then it won't matter that he's not in their old union or whether he's colored or a half-breed Indian, like they say. He'll be rich and won't have to stand on 24-story high girders and look down. He can look at his building going up. And Mommy won't cry all winter when he goes to look for work and doesn't come home. And Mommy can laugh and sleep late like Mrs. Honey. And we can have ice cream every night for dessert. Next, I'm going to fly over the ice cream factory just to make sure we do. Tonight, we're going up to Tar Beach. Mommy is roasting peanuts and frying chicken, and Daddy will bring home a watermelon. Mr. and Mrs. Honey will bring the beer and their old green card table. And then the stars will fall around me, and I will fly to the Union Building. I'll take BB with me. He has threatened to tell Mommy and Daddy if I leave him behind. I've told him that it's very easy. Anyone can fly. All you need is somewhere to go that you can't get to any other way. The next thing, you're flying among the stars. The end. This is the actual quilt that's based on her very own work. Tar Beach. That's in the Guggenheim Museum. All right. It's got the story written all around the top here. Images of the quilts, different sections of quilt sewn in, and then a painted image of Tar Beach. What do you think Tar Beach is? That's right. Tar Beach is the rooftops in New York City, it looks like. Well, it has to be if it's George Washington Bridge. You can see her artwork all around New York City. I've seen it in the subway. All right, give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed that book. I give it 2 thumbs up myself. Very nice. So, there's a lot of different theories, but basically, can you fly? That's a very open-ended question. Yes, no, maybe. How about this? Can you use your imagination? That's right. In your imagination, can you fly? Very much so. We are going to take our first 5-minute screen break. We're going to come back, and I want you to think about, while we're on break, what story could you tell in a quilt? What story would you tell if you could? Screen break time. Timer is set. The audio-visual timer set for 5 minutes. You have 5 minutes to get up, stretch, get a sip of water. You can, please don't leave the room without telling an adult. Like if you need to use the bathroom, that's fine. Just tell an adult. If you're stuck in a chair, sometimes we're stuck in our seats. You can always play with a manipulative. Here's my friend. I can play with a toy just as long as I'm not unmuting my microphone or chatting in the window. All right. I'll see you shortly. All right, welcome back, everybody. I hope you had a nice break. I hope you maybe got some exercise in. Now, a few questions before we begin. What stories could you tell on a quilt? Go ahead and say them. Stay on mute. No, you're not gonna say any. Very good. The one I'm gonna go with for today for this class is the pandemic. It's affecting all of our lives, and usually we're not supposed to be talking about it, but it's here. It's now. It's how we're learning. It's how we're living. It's affecting all of us, and that's okay. We're resilient. We're able to get through this. We've done wonderful so far. I'm impressed with each and every one of you. I do miss everyone too. But I think we're going to make a story about what we see, what we feel. How about at this moment you find some objects from around the house, 1, 2, maybe 3 items that help represent how you've been living for the past year, let's say. I'll give you time to get some things. I'm going to bring some things in myself. Hand sanitizer. It's one of the first things I think of. Oh, you know what I find fun about hand sanitizer? Sometimes people call it hanitizer. I think that should be a marketed word, hanitizer. It's hand and sanitizer put together. They should call this not supply aid hand sanitizing gel, but hanitizer. 80% moist, 80% alcohol. All right. That's one of the things I think of. The computer, like a laptop, maybe a tablet. That can definitely represent the times that we're living in. My water bottle. Multiple water bottles. These definitely are the times that we are living in. That represents... There could be some fun and interesting things too. Let me see if I can actually find one. Handmade cookies. Give me a thumbs up if you have been baking or helped to bake. That's right. Some of us were making bread, others making cookies and pies. Here we have a handmade cookie using a stencil, and we used M&Ms to paint this on. M&Ms are great for the color. Look at that. But baking or cooking. Have you helped to cook? Amazing. Other things might be the face mask. Absolutely. Now, if I was making a quilt, I would make it entirely out of the face masks. And then I'd write the story on all the face mask quilt pieces. Some other things. Family, that's right. If you have pictures of your family, people you live with, totally. I've been spending so much time with my family. We sometimes are spending time with people we normally wouldn't see often. Grandparents and whatnot. Friends. What else? Here's a strange and interesting one, like I was showing you before. Toys and video games. I've never played with so many toys and played so many video games. Well, Maybe. In my life. I would like to say in my life, but that's not entirely true. I played a lot of video games back in the day. What else? Uh huh. Very nice. There's so many different things. Like I was saying, like a tablet could represent. We're going to be drawing a bunch of these things. A book, very good. Who have been reading books, flipping through pages? How about coloring books, even looking at the pictures, magazines, and stuff? Yeah, who's tuned into a new YouTuber show? It's there. Might as well binge watching. These are all normal things for what we're all experiencing. We're going to see if we can put that all into our very own quilt design. Okay, it's not going to be actually a quilt, but we're going to base it on Faith Ringgold's awesome quilts. So, to start off, you're going to need a paper, and then we're going to take our break. You can use loose leaf if you want, or tear it out. I don't mind if it has jagged edges on one side, like jagged, like if it's a notebook paper, or it could be construction paper. I'm using copy paper. Now, what we're going to do, similar to what we did last week when we were folding, we're going to fold it 2 ways on each side. Actually, this is more like when we made the triptych for Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Remember how we made a fold? That's how we're going to start this one. Okay? You're going to take it and fold it kind of like that. It's going to be 3 folds. This is how you would fold a letter. You fold it like this and like this. It almost looks like that, and then you squish it down. You should have 3 different areas to work in right now, 3 different columns. Okay, so the way you do that, you fold it down on itself, and then you squish it flat. You make sure the edges are tight. Run your fingers across it. You should be working on a flat surface. Okay, now all we have to do with this is fold it over. It doesn't matter which way. You're going to fold it over twice, very much the same way. 1, 2. It'll make a tiny rectangle. This should give us 9 different rectangles to work with. Let's see what we have. Let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right, we're going to take our second and final screen break while you get crayons ready. Please, no markers. They can get very messy, and cleanup is not fun. Make sure, you use sharp crayons or just crayons in general, and try not to use pencils unless you have to. No gel pens, no markers, no dry erase markers. I'll see you in about 5 minutes. We're going to draw some of those things that we brainstormed about onto our paper for our quilt idea. See you shortly. Remember your finger exercises. You're just getting me good, aren't you, Shar? I'll be done soon. All right, welcome back. So we're going to have some fun and finish out our quilt design ideas. Now, quilt making was a very important part in history, in more recent history even. Um, there were different shapes and things that meant different things. All right, a lot of times people would create um, freedom quilts, basically quilts that would show where liberated slaves, which house would be a safe house, which one was not a safe house, where to go, the best place to be when you're trying to get further north, utilizing usually the Underground Railroad to get north. And there would be, different symbols in American history on quilts that could be deciphered by individuals in the know. Tradition in making and sewing quilts is a long tradition that goes back. That goes back before the United States was a country, before it was formed, before it was known about. There has been quilting has been in families for years and just passed on from generation to generation to generation. We're going to design our very own one, and it's going to be based off of Faith Ringgold's, which tells stories. All right, stories from when we were younger, truthful stories. Of course, what we read earlier was like a dream, but it was based in truth. It was completely based in truth, so that's why I call it a biographical work of art. We're going to need our paper that we folded. Where did I put it? You're going to, I think it might be easier to hold it this direction. Okay, when we hold it that direction, what do we call it? Horizontal. Very good. If you said horizontal, give me that thumbs up. Just give that thumbs up to that screen. Whoa, too close there. All right. Since I'm going to be holding it in the air to show you how to draw some of these things, I'm going to put it on my clipboard. You should have a flat work surface, table. Kitchen table works best. Desks work. They're a little small. And we still might have some of our inspirational items sitting around as we are doing pandemic. All right, I like my black crayon, and if you'll know in the book, there are some things that are outlined too. It looks like she appreciates the black outline on some things also. You'll see black outlines on some things, but not on everything. So we're going to do black outlines on everything, every one of our items that we've gathered. Yours can be different than the ones that I have. You can have yours full of different things completely. It doesn't have to be pandemic related. It could be your childhood, your 9 favorite toys. That's totally fine. Your favorite video game itself. I don't mind. Remember, though, stay on mute. You do not need to unmute yourself or show anybody else your artwork. When we're finished, I'll go into that later about how your adult can take a picture. That's like a Polaroid. That's an old picture. And then you can send it into my email address, my home connection, which I will show you again. I will tell you again one more time. My email address is KLASCALA at WBOE.net. NET. Any artwork that you do, even if it's not designing a quilt, even if it's just drawing, even if it's a coloring book page, I'd love to see it. I might even add it to our end of the year spectacular art show. This is where I'm going to be taking everybody's artwork, trimming out the names of students, of you, and putting it all into a vast artwork with music behind it. It'll be a montage of artwork from the beginning of the year to the end of the year. It's going to look amazing. And I'm in the process of trying to secure some awesome music that we can legally use. I think I might have to use some, although no one's getting paid off of it, there's still some music industry people that are very concerned about their music being used. So we're going to try to find some really nice moving music. I mean, we could always go with classic music. That's cool. But it's not always particularly striking enough for our times that we're living in. So I want to find something that really moves us. And if you, as an adult, knows anything, any kind of music that I can use, please get in touch with me using the said address. All right? Thank you so much. Now, let's move on to our drawing. Sorry for boring you, children. Okay, we have our 9 squares. We already counted them. We're going to start with, I guess, mine as well. I was holding it up in the air. We have our mask. So the way to draw a mask, nice and easy, is like a rectangle. I put a little curve to it. So I draw a line on one side, a line on the other, and then, remember our smile line from last time? We do a small smile and a small smile. You could put a line or two on the sides. You could put an image of what you would like in the center. But the main thing is now going to be something that goes around the ears. Something like that would be great. I'm going to make mine nice and thick. Just like that. And you can color it in any color you'd like. For those who are unable to color at this time, you can help me right now. What color am I holding? That's right. If you said orange, give me a wink. I might as well do mine a nice orange color. Bright colors are fun. Very cool. And I'm going to color the background Blue. Perhaps periwinkle? Periwinkle. Boom. Booyah. I'm going to color the background in my periwinkle color. All right. Now back to my black crayon. I'm going to add some stitching around this rectangle. Here's how you add stitching. Where we have our rectangle lines, just add lines like that. Okay, you can make them X's. I like to do hash marks or tick lines, little lines. You can go vertical if you really want to. There's many different ways to do stitching. That's the one I'm going to use for this box. I'll show you other ones as we progress. Next, what should we draw next? Family. I'd like you to draw in the next box. Remember when we're working in USA, we go from left to right, top to bottom. So the next one's going to be here. We're going to draw a picture of our family. Okay, I'm going to put a frame around it. So to put a frame around it, I'm going to put a fancy kind of swirls, zigzags maybe, but I think wavy lines are just fine. Then I put my rectangle in. And then I draw a picture of my family. Remember, we've drawn different versions of ourselves or other people or our family. We know how to make a head. I'm going to use an oval. I'm going to use emoji smile, an L nose, 2 eyeballs, some hair, and ears. There's my family. And I could even have us in our house. Why not? The kitchen. Trust me. Kitchen is where everybody's at, right? There's my kitchen. All right, you can color yours in however you'd like. You don't have to have your kitchen. You don't even have to put in your family if you don't want to. Okay. Maybe we'll color this in after we're done because we have to move right along. We only have a few minutes left. I picked up the water bottle. Let's do the water bottle over here. Okay, the way I do a water bottle is going to be a oval, 2 lines coming down. Then I kind of curve out like that and go straight down. Put the curve in. You can put water in like that. You can even put a label on it if you'd like. And I'm going to add stitching around this also. I'm going to add some more stitches in on all of my lines now that I realize we are running out of time. I'm going to do diagonal. I'm going to do vertical. I'm going to do horizontal. And I'm even going to do X's for all different kinds of stitching. Different sizes. Next is going to be my hand sanitizer bottle. There we have it with our label. Next is going to be a computer, or in this case, a laptop. There's our camera. Put a cord in. We're unplugged. We could do a cell phone or a tablet. We'll put that one down here. We're going to put over here our cookies, chocolate chips on a plate. Maybe in the same kitchen. Over here is our cell phone or a tablet. And we'll have that plugged in also. And the next thing we'll do, a toy. Why not a stuffed animal? Stuffed animal type of a toy. And the final thing is going to be a book for reading. All right. These are just some ideas to help you come up with. You don't even have to do any of these ideas. You don't even have to do a pandemic-related quilt. You can just do a whole bunch of different kinds of toys if you'd like. I hope you had fun. Thank you for being here. Adults, thank you for your help. I appreciate all of you. Have a great day. Have a wonderful week. Keep creating, everyone. Let me see you wave. Yeah. So long.